Hey there, Soulshines. It's Michelle here, and it's a Creative Expressions video. I haven't done one for a couple weeks. I'm trying to be enthusiastic. I'm doing pretty darn good. We'll talk a lot about life updates, even though I try to keep them. I've started trying to keep them off the channel. Some of them are pretty big and need to be mentioned. So before we get going too far, and so I don't forget, remember to hit that subscribe button and hit the like button and leave some yarn in the comments. I'm recording this on Monday, November 2nd, 3rd, November 3rd. And I just recorded the MagicalMAL video, so that should come out. Hopefully I can get that out actually today. And then we're still planning to do all our lives on Monday nights. We'll see. We'll let people know if that changes or something. There's either going to be a post or the live happening. So let's go into some of the life updates. Let's go into the fact that Cheyenne had a fever last night and she sprained her ankle on Saturday. So hopefully she can join me for the live tonight. Yeah, if not, we're just going to send her lots of love and blessings and let her rest and take care of herself. And I'll invite Amy to come play music or something. We'll figure it out. You'll already have known by the time this come out, because it's will have been the live that happens on the 3rd. So let's talk about the government crap. It directly affects me. I actually am on food stamps, so it directly affects me. I don't know how things are going to work out, but I keep hearing the spirit whisper to me, you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. Last Tuesday, on October 28th, there was a knock at the door, and the cops were at my door, and they told me they'd found my brother's body, that he'd been dead for a few days, and the reason he was found was because of the smell. And we can't get his stuff out because they have to do some cleaning. It's in quarantine right now, which is frustrating because there's a lot that we need paperwork. I need his car keys because until I can officially get the car put in my name, which hopefully will be what happens, I'm going to be driving his car as soon as I can get the keys and get his car, because I need it, and that's what he would want. It's pretty weird. My aunt is working with my dad. My dad has had nothing to do with this for a really long time, so it's just really weird to me, but my dad is legally next of kin until we find paperwork that says somebody else is in charge or not. I don't know. We know that he had some health issues. There's no official determination of what he died from, but we can assume the kind of thing that he died from just based on what we knew about his health. His body was cremated, which is so weird for me, but okay. And we're going to work things out to get him buried next to my sister. Some people thought that was so weird, and I'm like, my sister died as a baby. Her casket's like this long, like it's just a tiny little casket because she was only like 6 weeks old when she died. And so it's not even a matter of burying people on top of each other. I'm like, there's a whole space for a box that's been cremated. Like, there's space for him. And apparently my dad's still listed as owner on that, so my aunt's gonna have my dad help get that worked out and stuff. And my brother's former wife has agreed to help pay for a lot of stuff, so that's really nice. It's weird. I never know when I'm gonna cry, but then that's been the case since my mom passed away 5.5 years ago. You just never know when it's gonna hit. I will tell you that I've been participating in a group where the idea is learning to hear from Christ, to hear him speak to us, um, to get that deep, real relationship with him. And it's been amazing. And we finally, on my sister's birthday, which was October 23rd, we did some incredible work, Cheyenne and me and Xavier, and we healed a broken heart that I've had about my sister. And just different pieces of my broken heart just have been put back together. And my mom's birthday was on Friday, and I was okay. Something was weird in the air, but I was okay. Intuitively, we feel like my brother passed away like 3 o'clock or so in the morning on my mom's birthday. It's listed on the death certificate the time they found him. And when we found out, I told the Lord, I had just healed my broken heart. We had just fixed it. And I heard with the sweetest peace that filled my entire being, we did fix your broken heart, and this time you were not breaking. And I haven't. It hurts, and I'm sad at some of the things we'll miss out. I have some regrets, of course. But my heart has been filled with peace. And I feel okay about my brother and about our futures. Things are crazy and who knows what's happening, but I feel okay. And that's what matters. And in this moment, life is doing okay. Cheyenne is approaching this similarly to me. She's had some pretty crazy feelings that she had never had before because she was already in a numb state, a super disassociated state when my mom passed away. And so this is the first time that she's experienced it when she's actually feeling emotions. And so it's hit her in a different way, but also she's had peace underneath it. The rest of the kids are in different levels of the whole thing. So we'll see how we all do. But for the most part, we're doing okay. It is hard to know that I made my brother that banana. I don't know if I'm keeping it or if we're gonna bury it with his ashes or what's happening with that. It was an inside joke for Cheyenne. And my brother is so... It's all pretty crazy. It's all pretty crazy. But we're moving forward with life. We have some big dreams. We have literally no clue how they possibly could come about. But at least 5 of the 6 people that live in this house are so on board with it. We are so like, somehow this has to happen because I feel it. It feels... I don't even know how to explain. It just feels so alive, so incredible. And so we're doing whatever we feel inspired to do in order to get ready for that change in our life that hopefully we will see and experience. But like I said, we don't know how. We don't know how. So, let's move on to other things. So I finished 3 hats in October. Never sent the pictures in, and I don't care. It was Mad Mimi's Crochet, who had a make-along. I think it was supposed to be a crochet along. She would have accepted my knitting patterns, and I just never got them sent to her. I think I was planning to do it on the evening of when we found out my brother passed, and I couldn't even work on anything for a while. I like that, definitely not that night, and I just, that shock and surreal stage, you know. So yeah. Anyway, the pattern is called Michele, and it's spelled with one L, and it's a hat pattern, and it was free, and they had two versions. So here's a version, style B. I made this hat for Cheyenne. She wanted a super slouchy hat. I actually have a picture of her wearing all three hats, so I will put those up together at the end of this so you can see them on her. So this is style A. And then this one here is the first one I made, and it's style, no, this is style B, and this is style A. So it's just all together different sizes. This one's not as slouchy. And then I made a third one. So this one's for Cheyenne. This one's for my daughter Amy. And then this one is for me. These are all from yarn that Chef Lori sent us. And so it's a mostly cotton. I think it's cotton and with a little bit of polyester. I can't remember, but it's a mostly cotton yarn. And then, so my hat is the same style as this one, except for I made it a little bit longer before I started the crown, because I wanted mine to have a little bit more slouch. So that's what it looks like on me, and it's got a little bit of slouch, but it's not got the width. So here's this one on me, and so you can see it doesn't have really a lot of slouch. It's kind, I mean, it's got a little bit of slouch, but it's not super slouchy. And then this one here is just like huge. So they just have different looks to them, and like I said, this is style A, this is style B, and then this one is style A, where I went like about an inch and a half longer before I did the crown. And of course the pattern for all of these will be there. And then now I can give these to my daughters. We can have those hats. I finished a tithing hat. And this is my finished tithing hat. So if I put it on, it's like that. It's got a cable playing, like, you know, kind of repeats around. So that was really fun. And I figured out how to do all the reductions myself, because I didn't have a pattern. I just made it up. So there's that one. And I can put that with my tithing hats. And this is how far. I'm just doing a plain stockinette hat, how far I got. The yarn I've been using, this is what's left, is Touch of Alpaca. It's like a whole bunch of acrylic and then some alpaca. I think it's 10% alpaca. Where is the information? 90% acrylic, 10% alpaca. So because Cheyenne can't use it, which is really a bummer because she thinks it's really pretty, she can't use it because of the acrylic, and I thought it'd be nice to add just a little bit of that alpaca to be a little bit warm for some of the homeless people. So I'm working on that. And this is my third hat from that skein. I think that's it for finished objects. I'm going to talk about my cardigan, and I'm frustrated. On Friday night, when kids went out. They went out trick-or-treating, even Cheyenne. I know that they're all older. I will put Cheyenne's Halloween costume. I'm going to do it both sides, because she had her face without a costume, and then she had her mask, which she ended up not being able to wear very much because the fumes in it were making her sick. She had to use acrylic paint. We've yet to find an alternative. And so her dad ended up wearing it because he didn't have a costume. So it worked out, but a little frustrating, and made her sick. So that's not fun. But I ended up, I was like, oh, I'm going to be finishing the sleeve while they're gone and it's going to be awesome. And then I was like, wow, I have way more stitches on this arm than I did on the other arm. What's going on? And so I ended up undoing the entire sleeve, casting it on again. And this time I'm being very careful. And every time I do these little holes, I count the holes to make sure that they match the other sleeve and that it's just going to keep matching all the way up so that when I get to the end, I can actually do it. So that was a little discouraging to have to frog. Basically, I was up here at the very end. I was doing this last little bit. I had just done the holes and I counted my hole, or I was trying to do the decrease round that I have. And I was like, this isn't right. And I was like way off. And so I'm being very careful this time. Discouraged to frog it, but I know that in the end I will be much happier if my sleeves match each other. So I've been working on that. So now the sleeve is only this long. So hopefully I can make some progress on that this week. I have realized that I really just need to allow myself just 3 main projects on my tithing project: a knitting project, a crochet project, I guess a sewing project, and a socks project. I may or may not be doing MagicalMAL projects with everybody. Cheyenne plans to continue drawing pictures for each. I may not be because I'm trying to do so many other things in my life. I'll talk about the sewing thing and then I'll come back to the yarn. I bought a king size sheet set of flannel that I'm hoping to be able to make pajama bottoms for all of my kids and maybe either bottoms or a nightgown for me. Yeah. And then I was like, I couldn't find a pattern. So I actually bought a pattern that will show up. It's supposed to come tomorrow. I am sure I have had, and there could even still be a pajama pattern somewhere in this house. However, the chances that I kept it are very slim, and I couldn't find it in my stuff that I know where is. So I figure I will probably use this in future pajamas for Christmas, so I'll just buy it and keep it, and so that's what I did. I don't like printing and using the paper. I just don't like the stiffness of that on the fabrics and stuff. Like, I really don't like it. And I don't have ink right now, so I can't even print it anyway. So I wanted an actual tissue paper fabric that comes from, one of the big companies. So that's what I ordered. And here I can show you the pillowcase because it's small enough to hold up. So I did undo. So this is an undone pillowcase. I did undo seams and stuff. Took out the elastic from the fitted sheet and that kind of thing. So both of the girls would like shorts. And so I'm going to hopefully be able to cut those out of the pillowcase fabric and be able to use that for shorts. And if not, if it doesn't work or can't get all of the pieces, pockets, lots of pocket material, we'll figure it out. So anyway, this is what the sheet set that I got so that I could get pajama bottoms for everybody. So that was kind of fun. I have to tell you, it was a little anxiety it's like I've bought, that was a weird word. I have purchased sheets at a thrift store. And I'm like, oh, cut it up, no problem. It's lived its life, or people got rid of it or whatever. To buy a 100% brand new sheet set and then cut into it, that gave me a little anxiety. I was like, that is so weird. I've never had a problem cutting into fabric. Didn't have a problem cutting into the thrifted ones, but a brand new one, I'm like, oh, that was designed to be a sheet. And I'm like, wow. Once I got the first cuts out of the way, I was fine. It was just so funny. Let me see what's in this bag, if anything. Nope. It's got some yarn and stuff in it. trying to, oh, I will have to put a picture of it, and then maybe I can show it on the live tonight. I made a witch hat towel for my MagicalMAL last month. It's black cotton yarn, and I'd already had the towel prepared with following my tutorial that I have for preparing towels, and I can link that below. I knitted this one because I knew it would be faster for me, and so I'm not making a tutorial for it. I'm not making a pattern for it. I just played around with knitting and made us a cute little thing. So that was my MagicalMAL thing, and also finished object this week. I worked on her so much to finish her so I could have the yarn for something else, and now I will not be using that yarn for that. So she is attached. She just needs some hair and clothes, and she needs a mouth. My thoughts are, when I finish my cardigan, using some of the leftovers from that to put her mouth on with that rayon, even though she's cotton. But she is getting put away until Christmas presents are done, and then I can start working on her clothes. I haven't decided if I'm going to crochet her clothes from the pattern that came with her, or if I'm going to just try to knit her up some clothes. Truth is that I prefer knitting over crochet. There are definitely things that crochet is better for, and so I do like that. She's got such a wobbly head. Her neck is nice and stuffed, but she's got a wobbly head. Her head wasn't stuffed enough, and that's okay. Anyway, she's got huge feet. Check out those feet. So huge. But anyway, yeah, she's got to go away until Christmas. Look, I made her the wobbly, movable arms and legs. That was fun. Anyway, she's going until Christmas presents are done, so then I will work on finishing her. She was supposed to be my project for the Decade Divas. And then I realized I was just too overwhelmed to do the Decade Divas. So I pulled out. But I want to finish her. And we'll see where she goes after that. But she's on hold for a little while. I swear I should have some more projects going. But maybe I'm just in between a bunch of stuff. I still haven't dyed my yarn. I still haven't dyed my t-shirt. So I haven't started socks because I haven't dyed the yarn for the socks, and that kind of frustrates me, but I need to get on that. So I have a sock project. Sock projects are great for taking places with me because I tend to just do like a stockinette sock. Yeah. And they're small. They're small projects I can just take with me. So trying to think if I have anything else. Christmas projects. I need to spend time finding a present for one of my kids. My present I was going to do, I was going to make an ear. Because there's a song, put a banana in your ear. And I was going to give my brother an ear. He had taken like a paper towel. He wrapped it around his ear and he taped it together. So I'd have a measurement of his ear. And it hurts so bad when I see it. And there's one part of me that just wants to throw it away. And the other part of me that's like, you can't. So I don't know what's happening with that. Just like I don't know what's happening with the banana. But I need to move on. I still have 5 kids to make presents for. And so I gotta get on that. So I need to find a present for one of them today. And so I can start working on that. So it's Christmas. And I don't have brown cotton right now, so I'm not making a cornucopia or anything. However, where is it? Oh, I think I can actually reach it really quick. This was given to me from Lexi. And Cheyenne kind of wants a poncho out of it. And also my cat, my resin cat, does not have a Thanksgiving costume. So I might still do something for the MagicalMAL this year if I can quickly work up a poncho in this for Cheyenne. Maybe something for the cat, we'll see. Because I figure that is close enough. It's Thanksgiving-y colors. It's not, you know, necessarily a cornucopia. And it's not necessarily a turkey, but when we think of hand turkeys, a lot of times they have all the autumn colors in it and stuff. So I'm counting it. So I'm going to see if I can figure out a good poncho that would be quick. Probably a fast crochet with like some double or triple crochets, because those can work up pretty fast. I think that's what I'll do. And I might not tell her I've actually made it and wrap it up as her Christmas present. And that way I'm doing my Christmas and her present. But we'll see. Unless I can think of something else to make her for Christmas. So I might do this for the MagicalMAL. Let's see. What else is there? I have no intention of participating in any other make-alongs. Financially, I don't have money to send things to people. We have the books for our MagicalMAL prize. That is in our budget anyway. So we plan for being able to send out those every month to the winners. So I can still send a book to the winner, even though things are very tight. We've been blessed incredibly, and sometimes this blessing comes in very painful ways. Like, if nothing else, for a little while, we should be able to drive my brother's car as soon as we can get in to get his keys and all the paperwork and stuff. Not the way I wanted to get a vehicle, but I'm grateful that I'm going to have a vehicle to drive, at least for a while, if not for as long as the car lasts. I don't know that I have anything else going on right now as far as my creativity and stuff. We're working on books. I have one ready for one daughter. We need to get on that because we basically need to get all of the books that we're doing for Christmas made. And this stuff with my brother just kind of sent us, oh, but this week I feel like, okay, this week I feel a little more capable of, let's get back on track and get our Christmas stuff done. Let's get back on track and get everything that we need to do done. We are also currently moving into a big time downsizing, which means I'm going through my yarn, not necessarily to give it away, but like I'm sorting it out, and these are I absolutely love these yarns, and if I don't have a project already in mind for them, they will be so easy to find a project for, like some of the ones that I recently got. Just love these yarns so much, and so I'm kind of going through and being like, okay, I really love these yarns. I don't love these ones as much, kind of evaluating. So I've already gone through and done a big old acrylic declutter. But this time I'm trying to go through with the intention of like, seriously, do I love this or have projects in mind? Or there are some things like some regular cottons and stuff that I'm like, we keep these because we know that we will, they will come up in projects frequently because they are cotton and stuff. So I'm going through and like picking, and I've also like I have the 3x5 cards. I have a box for those, and I'm actually writing on the card as I fill up a new tote what yarn is in there, and if I already have a project idea, I'm writing those on there on the tote so that in my box I can say in tote number 1, which I don't think I've actually labeled the box yet, but this is, I have it right here, so I'm looking at it. Some of the yarns in here are that cotton. Some of it is like I have 8 skeins of this that I bought. Well, I was given a gift card and I got them with the gift card. It's called Bamboo Fair. And I have a plan for this and I'm so excited. So it's definitely in this box. Most of the yarns that came from Chef Lori and Deb recently, and a lot of the ones from Lexi, have ended up in that tote because I was like, I know we're going to use this. I know we're going to have projects, and I already have projects in mind or whatever. So they're in there. I'm very excited about them. Also, in the fact that we were downsizing and decluttering our stuff, we decided that for game night yesterday, we would also play one of the games that we've had in the closet that we don't even know what it is or if we like it. If we, and we're going through all of our games to get rid of stuff. Also, seriously, have you noticed how, especially games from the past, but like how sometimes you get these games and it's like this ridiculous box for like so little stuff? We had a couple of games that were like, this is stupid. Why do we have this big stuff? And so we got rid of the container for one. We didn't keep those dice because one was missing. And it just takes regular dice, and we have enough of the other dice, so we have the other dice and we kept the instructions. And then another one, we put the boards and things in a baggie with the instructions, and we kept the cup, but we got rid of the box. It was shaken sorry. Huge box for a cup that didn't even fit the whole thing. 4 little boards and 17 dice? Like, that's crazy. So we put the dice and boards in a baggie, put the cup in I have a shoebox size box that I've had since I was a kid that I kept my card games in. And so it fits in there and the cup fits in there, and the cup now becomes used. We can use it for Farkle. We can use it for Shaken Sorry. We could use it for Yahtzee if we needed to downsize the box for that, which we haven't gotten to yet. So I like that now, like if you buy a Monopoly game now, instead of just folding in half, they got it so it folds in fourths until it goes down into a smaller box. So they're starting to get better about games, but I just think it's crazy. You get this huge old box for like so little stuff. And so we're going through and playing some of these games and playing some that we know so that we can have some fun as a family, but also so we can be cleaning out the game closet and downsizing that to where we know that every game up there is something that we will play. It's going to be a while before we play Monopoly. That's for sure. And yeah. We have a game that my brother made up and taught us. It's similar to Werewolf and yeah. It's similar to like Werewolf and Mafia in that there's people that, I don't know. It was a lot of fun. And we were going to make it an official card game, and he wanted to actually sell it. And it's a really good thing that right before we found out about him, I had put everything in an envelope and then tucked the envelope into my planner so that they wouldn't get lost. The good thing about that is because until then, they were just on they were just visible all the time. So I just put them out of sight, and I don't think I could have handled it if they weren't out of sight. It will be a while before we can even do anything about that too. I don't think it will take as long for those kind of things as it did with my mom, but we do need a little bit of time. And then we'll have a time when we actually sit down to play it to honor. But I think the second time that he was back, not the second time, but one of the times he came and it was Cheyenne's birthday. And then we played Monopoly with him, and so Monopoly has now got a bigger association for my kids with him. I mean, I always had an association. There was 4 of us, my mom, my dad, and my brother and me growing up. And so, of course, if we played Monopoly, I had an association with Monopoly with my brother. I always had that memory, but now it's got a different kind of memory with it. So anyway, we're going through the games, we're going through our stuff. We're trying to get down to, we're basically becoming minimalist, not because we necessarily want to become minimalists as much as for the thing that we're considering in our future will require us to be more minimalist, and it will just make it easier if something happens and we don't get to stay here. So we're just trying to downsize. We're trying to go through things. So it's what I keep hearing. Get rid of most of your stuff. Get rid of most of your stuff. Get rid of most of your stuff. So we're working on it and hopefully having bigger times where we can just really declutter. That will be easier when we have transportation to take things to the donation center. Hopefully we can also, we have a large Vizio TV that we are wanting to sell. We've never tried selling things before, so we would like to do that, and we have a smaller TV that we would use instead. So just different things like that we're trying to figure out. Some garbage, some maybe selling, and some taking to a donation center. All of those things, well, the garbage is easier to do now, but all those things will be easier when we have a vehicle. Anyway, I did not want for this video to be a bummer video, but I knew there was no way around it. This was a big thing, and I know there are people who don't like watching people's lives update. They don't like hearing all that kind of stuff, and I'm sorry for them that I had to bring that into my day-to-day. But right now, it's my reality. We're working on my health. We're working on Cheyenne's health. We're working on our family's hearts. We are working on decluttering, and we're working on mourning and all of the things that come with loss. And we are working on doing our best to keep faith and trusting that we'll be provided for in this really scary time for the country. So, with all of that, I want to remind you guys to let your light shine through your creations, whatever they be, whether they be a bunch of knitting projects or crochet projects, amigurumis or wearables, whether they be any form of art or music or anything. Just even creating your life, let your light shine. Remember who you are. And if you don't know who you are, I pray that you find out who you are. And remember to cherish your moments, because you don't know how long they're going to be. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye.